Imagine a time when you felt out of place, unsure of your purpose. This is where we find Moses, a man living in exile, far from his people. Born into Hebrew servitude but raised in Egyptian royalty, Moses' life was a dichotomy of cultures and identities. His early years were marked by privilege, but a violent act led to his exile, his life in Egypt left behind. In the solitude of the desert, Moses encountered the divine in the form of a burning bush, a spectacle that was as perplexing as it was awe-inspiring. From within the flames, God spoke, calling Moses to a mission greater than he could imagine. God tasked Moses with the liberation of the Israelites, his own people, from the cruel chains of Egyptian slavery. Moses felt doubt. He questioned his worthiness, his capability. But in the face of divine purpose, he found resolve. And with a heart full of doubt but a spirit stirred by divine purpose, Moses sets off to confront Pharaoh. Imagine standing before the most powerful man in your world, trying to convince him to free thousands of people. This was Moses' daunting task. Picture this: Moses, a humble shepherd, going toe-to-toe with Pharaoh, the ruler of Egypt, in a battle of wills that would change history forever. Moses, armed with nothing but the power of faith and a divine mission, boldly approached Pharaoh with a simple yet profound message: "Let my people go." But Pharaoh, with his heart hardened and pride unyielding, refused to free the Israelites from the shackles of slavery. This is where the narrative takes a dramatic turn. God, in his infinite wisdom and justice, unleashed a series of 10 plagues upon Egypt. These weren't just random acts of divine wrath, but carefully curated messages aimed at demonstrating God's power and challenging the false gods of Egypt. The waters of the Nile turned into blood, a stark reminder of the lifeblood of the Israelite slaves that fueled the grandeur of Egypt. Frogs, lice, and swarms of flies invaded every corner of the land, disrupting the order and cleanliness that Egyptians prided themselves on. Livestock died, boils afflicted the people, and hail rained down from the heavens, causing widespread destruction and chaos. Yet, even in the face of such calamities, Pharaoh's heart remained as unyielding as stone. God then cloaked Egypt in darkness, a symbolic reference to the spiritual darkness that had consumed the land. But the final plague was the most devastating of them all. The angel of death swept through the land, claiming the firstborn of every Egyptian household. Through it all, Moses stood firm, his faith unwavering, his resolve unshaken. Here was a man who dared to challenge a king, who stood up against oppression, and who believed in the power of faith and purpose. And as each plague descended upon Egypt, Moses' conviction only grew stronger. After a series of devastating plagues, Pharaoh finally relents, setting the stage for a dramatic escape. Moses' showdown with Pharaoh serves as a powerful reminder that with faith and purpose, even the mightiest of oppressors can be brought to their knees. Imagine leading thousands of people through a barren desert, with a mighty army hot on your heels. This was the reality for Moses and the Israelites. They were trapped between the Red Sea in front and Pharaoh's army at the back. But Moses, with steadfast faith, lifted his staff, and behold, the sea parted. It was a sight to behold, a miracle, a testament to the power of faith. The Israelites, with hearts filled with hope, marched through the dry seabed, walls of water towering on either side. Moses, their leader, was their beacon of hope, the embodiment of unwavering belief and unity. Together, they traversed the impossible, a path that existed only because of their faith. As the last of them crossed, the sea roared back to life, swallowing Pharaoh's pursuing army. With the waters closing behind them, the Israelites were finally free, marking the end of an epic journey. The story of Moses is more than a tale of freedom and faith. It's a lesson in courage, perseverance, and divine purpose. Born in a time of oppression, Moses rose from a humble basket on the Nile to the Pharaoh's palace, and then to be the leader of the Exodus. His life is a testament to the power of faith and the strength that comes from believing in a divine purpose. In the face of the mightiest ruler of his time, Moses stood firm. His courage was not of his own making, but a product of his unwavering faith. He teaches us that faith can move mountains, and that with divine guidance, we can overcome the greatest adversities. His perseverance, meanwhile, reminds us that the path to freedom is often fraught with obstacles, but with resolve and divine guidance, we can surmount them. So the next time you feel out of place or unsure of your purpose, remember the story of Moses. You might just find the courage to confront your own pharaohs.